Mr. Unterhalter, you know already that we have received objections to your candidature, principally from the BLA and some other body called the Boycott Coalition, if I can just paraphrase the name of that institution, BDS. Now, we have to raise the issues with you so that you would deal with them head on, and then we can address them in our deliberations. You have read, I'm not going to go at length, I'm sure you have read the objections, and they pertain to you the fact that you accepted nomination as a member of the Jewish Board of Deputies in South Africa. What I want to ask you about that is this. It seems to me that the fundamental premise of both objections is the assertion that the Jewish Board of Deputies is a body that is pro-Zionist and that is, in fact, bullying all other people and organizations who are objecting to the Israeli establishment in the Palestine region. Is that premise correct?
In my view, the premise, completely correctly summarized by you with respect, is incorrect. Members of the Jewish community in this country, as in many other countries, hold a very wide variety of views about Zionism and the State of Israel. That is why people who are Zionists subscribe to organizations that bear that name and seek to pursue that particular political agenda. The Jewish Board of Deputies is a body that existed long before the State of Israel was ever created and has its roots in the 19th century in this country, where it is simply founded and was founded to look after the interests of a particular community, in this instance, the Jewish community, and largely to take care of its welfare, as many community organizations representing many different parts of our society do. It was on that premise that during COVID, when there were peculiarly large demands placed on the welfare, not just of the Jewish community, but also in respect of its charitable work with other communities, that I accepted a position to on the Jewish Board of Deputies, thinking that it could be of some service to the community and the work that it did for the Jewish community. There was, when I was nominated and came before you before, the objections of the kind that you have indicated, saying that effectively that showed my commitment to Zionism, which, according to these bodies, is antithetical to the Constitution, and hence I should not be favorably considered for appointment to the Constitutional Court. That proceeds exactly from the premise that you have stated, and which is wrong. It was not the reason why I joined. I would not have joined on that basis. And as you will have noticed, I resigned from the Jewish Board of Deputies because I recognized a different error, which is that the Jewish Board of Deputies litigates cases dealing with anti-Semitism, and some of those cases have come to the Constitutional Court, and it seemed to me unwise for me to potentially seek appointment to a body where the Jewish Board of Deputies might be litigating cases. And consequently, it seemed to me better to stand down. And that's precisely what I did. I recognized that that was an error, probably of judgment that I had made. And sometimes it's a feature of judges that they should recognize when they make mistakes, and that was one.
Yes. No, it's a follow-up on the position of the Jewish Board of Deputies. I just want to understand, does the Jewish Board of Deputies in South Africa currently and last year, when you accepted nomination to it, did it hold a particular view about the Israeli establishment in the Palestine region?
Not certainly while I was there. The Constitution makes no commitment to Zionism of any kind, and none of the issues that I was concerned with had anything whatever to do with Zionism.
No, I'm asking whether the Jewish Board of Deputies propagated.
Not as far as I know.
I just want latitude on this one. Thank you. On the second reason why you stood down in the face of the objection from the BLA was, as you stated and you repeated today, that it's because of the involvement of the Jewish Board of Deputies in litigation in matters relating to hate speech and anti-Semitism. Now, my recollection is that when you were interviewed initially for the position of the judge in the North Gauteng High Court, I think, or in South Gauteng, you were pressed on your views around your membership or even involvement with the Helen Suzman Foundation. And then you expressed at that time that when you assume the position of a judge, you immediately disengage with the bodies with which you're involved. Around that, then I got so surprised when you then took up position as the member of the Jewish Board when you know that it is a litigating body. I would have thought that you would try to disengage with it from that perspective.
I understand the point you're making, and I think the answer to that is just simply the one that I've given to you, which is that I joined it on the basis that it was facing very considerable demands in a time of COVID, with all the problems of the pandemic that we all know about. And I saw it simply as a contribution that I could possibly make to this community and other communities that it serves in respect of welfare issues. That's how I saw it. I didn't really think carefully enough in retrospect that there is also litigation that it undertakes and so on. And I recognize entirely that had I had that at the front of my mind, it would have been a reason not to do so, and I shouldn't, in retrospect, have done so, given that was so. But, you know, I have to simply say to you that at a time of considerable social need in many communities across this country, it just seemed an aspect of service that I could make that didn't contradict my judicial activity. But I can see that there is a potential problem, and that's why I've dealt with it.
Yes. Chief Justice, that was the component of my first question. Now I want to move to the second question.